it can be much harder for that. So, if you're going to drop your movement speed to them, that's okay. Just make sure that you're actually mentioning it beforehand, saying, "Hey, I'm going to drop Wind's Fury or Wind Rush," just because everyone needs to know that you're going to drop it.
Keep in mind that if I do drop it, your partner's movement speeds are going to be the same. So just
but at the same time, again, let's say that I'm paired with Meds again. You drop it, I start moving before him. I get the speed buff before he realizes I'm moving.
No, I get that.
So I've got to be a little bit more cautious and go, okay, I'm going to take only a couple less steps and to make sure that he catches up. Even though all of our movements are going to be the same. Yeah, well, not just Meds is dead. I'm dead too.
I've done this fight. I mean, I'm 10 out of 10 normal. I get what you mean.
So just make sure you're calling out so everyone's aware that we might need the movement speed, but we've got to be extra cautious.
If I do pop it, it'll be when we're moving across the room, depending on how tanks are tanking this.
Yeah, and range will always be trying to stay against a wall, and then if we can, we're going to be trying to just move a couple steps along the wall, 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 as much as we can going forward each time. Is that always going to work? No, and that's where I will try to call stuff out, going, hey, we're going to go left or we're going to go right for that. But that's how that's our plan, is we're going to try to stay against the wall as much as we can to drop stuff. It's obviously not going to work perfectly because stuff's going to drop on melee as well, but that's the early plan.
I mean, stuff only drops on melee after they have to run out. It's going to drop where they're stacked, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, in theory, they could strategically place it as well, but, I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, I guess.
I don't think you can life grip your partner because I don't know what the range of life.
If you're far enough away from them, they're dead. So you can't get far enough to really grip them very far.
I mean, this one's got a tough DPS check, but life grip is not. Vantage runes are not going to be the big difference one way or the other, because most of it's going to be, can you have, are you going to follow the mechanics? This one's really important about, you need to do damage while following the mechanics, because of the tight DPS check. The last boss, there are things like there's bleeds that will matter for, that will matter. So Vantage runes are probably more useful on the last boss, but I would save them until we get to slightly more tough bosses in heroic, because I don't think they're going to be cheap mats either. Anybody have any questions about this fight? I'm hoping everyone's at least watched the video. So.
Just want to clarify, what direction do you guys want melee to go when they get paired up?
Melee is going to stack basically probably on one of his two back feet. So whoever's in melee, you can pick one of the two back feet, and that's where you're going to stack. Is you're going to stack on that back foot of melee.
No, when we're chained.
When you're chained, again, just stick on his back foot.
I think he means when you're running out.
When you're running out, probably.
We don't drop puddles while chained on this difficulty, do we?
Yeah, I don't think you drop. Yeah, I think that's only that one. Only that does not happen until
all melee has to worry about is get out of the big brown circle, but run the same way as the person that you're with. So whichever direction is going to be shortest for you to get out, go that direction. There may be some puddles kind of close by, so you'll have to, pick a good angle and both people run together to get out. But for the most part, all you got to worry about is stay with your chained partner and make sure that you get out of that big brown circle.
Okay,
I might have
that's not bad then.
I might get DC'd.
And the wheelchair melee has a nice handy green little triangle over his head, so I'm easy to spot now.
Don't speed boost away from Art and kill him.
Again.
Yeah, we got only 5 melee?
Yep.
Better than the 3 we had last time.
Which means that one melee...
Much better than 3.
One melee will probably never get picked, or one melee each time will not get picked, because it will not pair a ranged to melee.
I've heard that it can, but only if, half the raid's dead.
It's not supposed to. The only time I've seen it pair ranged in melee is when you have most of the time it's a
not enough people left.
No, it's a Windwalker monk pretending they're ranged.
Or when there's so much shit on the ground that you've gotten too close together and it puts you together.
I could see if you're doing that, because yeah, it's supposed to pick people that are within your range of that.
That's why range normally tries to stay at least max healer range, which is only 40 yards. I mean, I know we're going to be stacking on you, Yejo, but I'm going to make sure I can heal the tanks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get to. I mean, I've got farther range than most, but most people have 40-yard range, so we'll probably be about 30 yards away for the most part. You know, we're not going to try. I'm not going to try to get us. Oh, we need to be max range because we just need to be far enough away that we're not going to get paired with melee.
Yeah.
Inside, when you do it, do you keep him up there for the first part?
Yeah, we keep him up there until we absolutely have to move, basically. Yeah.
Which is what, after the second pillar?
After the first pillar. So the first pillar, because of the first pillar, what's going to happen is he's going to charge, and their tank is going to probably have to move like right here, so that it charges into there, and then at that point, range, which will probably start over here, is probably going to rotate back to kind of where the gate is, and unleash everything they've got on him. And every 2-minute cooldown they've got on him, and that point we're going to start to rotate around, because we did pillar 1 was this pillar over here, pillar 2 was this one, pillar 3 I think was this one back up here, and then pillar 4 was this one over there. But it doesn't have to be. You could kind of keep go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just it's easier when melee coordinates with them, because their range should be able to. I've got range from him up to here, so and most are going to have range up to here without too much trouble. So most of the
when we started with ranged in the back corner by this gate on this side, and filled in that whole back area up until the first pillar gets broken. And the second pillar gets broken. Most of them are still up there before they have to start working around the rest of the room.
So yeah, we started on the left side over here, and then just kind of rotated. Once we started on the left side, we kind of rotated into that little alcove out back, and then kind of came around that other wall. And so we finished our thing right about where we're all starting, about this entrance, and we just kind of rotated all the way around until we got to be about here when the last pillar was charged, and then we finished right basically as soon as he charged that fourth pillar. Before he even got to really enraged, because he gets stunned for a second, he died. But I don't expect that to be quite as fast.
Well, all right, we got Flask and Food ticking. Y'all want to try to give it a pull, or?
So everyone kind of come over to this corner, kind of in between this bench and there, and this is a good starting spot for us.
Just stand against the wall. You're going to get knocked back at the start anyway.
Yeah, so you kind of want to stand against the wall, and that's part of the reason we kind of try to stay against the wall, was because that way, if you get knocked back, you get knocked back into a wall, as there's multiple knockbacks.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware. How to do hero?
On the third pillar. Sorry.
That's,
Beware. Run away, little girl. Run away.
Get ready to move.
Range kind of slow to creep up next to the pillar.
Guys, everybody stack right.
No. Stack on top of me. Everyone's kind of getting spread out for range. Get stacked up. We're gonna start slowly move towards the gate.
Get closer to the puddle.
Nam, get up, Nam.
2, 1.
Go forward. Keep going forward.
Run, little DK.
2-minute cooldown.
I'm gonna have to restart after this because I'm lagging.
Beware. Beware.
Move closer to us.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Range move left, I think.
Move left. We're gonna slowly move behind this thing. Don't move quickly. Move slowly. Oh, there we go.
Well, I mean, after this, there should only be one more puddle before he does another charge, right?
Blade.
Well,
Can you not hear us?
2, 1.
Move forward in range. Gather back up in the corner. Three-minute cool.
get Jen up.
Get me up.
We don't have a res.
Oh, clock's gonna be taking a ton of damage for 2 minutes, so we have a res.
Aliens scooch closer to the giant puddle.
Beware.
Move left.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Move left.
Sorry, guys.
Move left.
Beware.
3, 2, 1.
Oh shit. Move left.
Beware. Stopping time.
Get ready. We're gonna hero when he charges this pill. Hero.
Master be so happy.
Innervate toggle if you can.
Beware. No fear.
Thank you.
Range reset. Get your back to the wall range.
Beware.
This little corner. Get your back to the wall.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
We're gonna have to move.
Yep. Move.
Do we still not get Jen up or what?
We've got another
30
26
seconds.
seconds.
Be so happy.
He's gonna hit a wall soon, too. 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run away, little girl.
3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna restart my whole game really quick.
Beware. Stopping time. Flat sounds so sweet.
So I died to the charge, and I was on his back foot.
I did too,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
completely the other side of him.
His charge is ever so slightly wider than you'd realize.
Yeah, that's why in the past I was always kind of cautious to follow him during the charge or to be near him because I've seen that mechanic happen.
Yeah, I
A
didn't
lot.
follow him at all. I backed up a few steps because it picked clock, and still died. But I was lagging really bad too,
Yeah, it's like
so I kept losing threat. So it picked him for both of them.
All right. So yeah, and the key is I saw a couple people in ranged who kind of got separated from the pack, and it caused the death of at least two of them. So again, I know that everyone kind of wants to sit and turret for ranged. This one you've really kind of got to stay stacked, but not bad overall first bowl.
I at first ended up separate because I kept trying to follow my chain person so it wouldn't break.
Yeah, but you got really far separated at one point, and it did. I don't think it broke on you. I don't know that for certain.
No, it didn't in the end, but that's the reason I kept moving out, is my chain kept moving out and I was trying to keep us from dying.
It's a good instinct.
Yeah.
You just might want to yell at your person that you're chained to that they're going the wrong way.
Well, I was trying to... I forgot the fact that I probably could have just pulled them back in. I'm not used to using it in Shadow.
That's a good point, too. You can force them to go the right way.
Yeah, different servers.
Just enough that he caught one of the pillars.
You need a tome. I think I might have one in my guild bank.
Can who not hear Discord?
Unemployed.
He's in here.
He's just muted.
Here, he can't
No, he can
talk
hear
because
us.
his mic's messed up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Sin, how are you going to be talking shit about using the Hellstones and not drop them?
I dropped it earlier. Nobody
I didn't
grabbed him
see it.
apparently.
I got some earlier.
I got some.
I even used one.
I know.
Was there a, I
Da,
felt
da,
like
da.
I got a three-way chain at some point.
No, you only ever get. It's probably because somebody else was stacked very close to you, and therefore when you got chained, someone else was all right on top of you, chained to somebody else. But the people that they were chained to had stepped away from each other for a few seconds.
You're just
has
looking
a-
for the red arrow over your head and their head. That's how you know who your chain partner is.
Yeah,
turns
you
into
might
a
see a
red
couple.
Yeah, I just in melee it looked like there was like a triangle of chain.
Yeah, there was that. But yeah, there were just two groups of us.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't misunderstanding a mechanic.
All right, we ready to go again?
This time with less lag.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, will pick me for the charge. But really well done, Clock, getting to the pillar in time.
Clock, if you need it, let me know. I'll drop my totem for you.
Alright, I think I have enough time to Door of Shadows every single one if it picks me.
Yeah, he nailed it with the first two with Door of Shadows, no problem. Which was good.
And then I accidentally taunted him, so we're not gonna do that this time. Just gonna remove that.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware. Gonna crack your bones. Beware. Run away, little girl. Run away.
Okay. Move to the left.
Cuddle puddles.
Beware. Run away, little girl. Run away.
You can angle your camera right.
2.
Move to the left against the gate.
Beware. Stupid toy.
That chain's break, I'm guessing.
Yep.
2 minute cooldown.
Beware. Beware.
Cuddle the puddle over you guys.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
To the left.
Beware.
Oh. He's my cuddle buddy.
Run
4,
away, little girl.
3, 2, 1.
To the left.
Beware. Stupid toy.
No.
3 minute cooldowns.
Beware.
Range, we need to move up. I can't reach the tank.
Okay. Move up. When we can, we're going to move to the left so we can get near the other gate. Start to move slowly towards the other gate.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Lynn, move up. Lynn, Med, move. Move to the gate. Move to the gate.
Beware.
Step up.
That's terrible.
Oh no, overlap was really bad.
Yeah.
Drop stuff on you right as the knockback happened.
1.
Yeah.
It knocked me back into a drop. It was kind of
Beware.
Can we move the boss at some point? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, he's moving all right.
We've lost out like 5 people already.
Range, get to the other side of the pillar now because we don't have. Get to the gate if you can.
Beware.
Step up right in front of the gate.
Run away, little girl.
Step up.
We're gonna res someone?
Beware.
Step to the right when you get the chance.
Run away, little
4,
girl.
3, 2, 1.
Step up.
Beware. Time.
Now you have the whole front of the room you guys can work with. I'll keep
Yep.
them on this side.
Beware. Stone harder than hay. Beware.
The left.
I need to get closer.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Left.
Beware.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
It's a wide.
Oh, Master, be so happy.
You can do
Good
it.
job.
7%.
Beware.
Pretty good, but definitely still lost a few people really early on, and that's all the difference right there. Is just losing people to the chains early.
That
Yeah.
was my fault. I saw the thing and I like just run through the boss to avoid the lunge.
You need to make sure you're not like getting super erratic when we have the chains on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we started a little bit rough range, but we actually ended up, I thought, doing pretty well overall once we kind of got that. So, yeah, the melee all died, and
Nope. I didn't.
oh, you didn't? Yeah, I thought that after we kind of got into something where the range was able to move pretty well as a unit. So, did anyone see anything that I didn't that they say, hey, let's suggestions? So,
Jen, I need you to watch running at the melee. You got Gregor punched in the face.
He started stealth standing on top of me.
No, like after the second pillar, you kind of ran towards him, and I was too far, so he got one to the face.
So as melee, when the charge happens and we're chained, what's the best direction for us to go?
Literally
I
just
thought
get
through
out
the
of the
boss to
back.
get behind him, but it was
Go-
not
I
the
would
way my
say that.
partner went.
go towards the wall, basically, because that's always going to be if you pick something else besides the wall, it's always going to wall will always be a way that you can go, but just kind of slow but sure.
I think you guys actually kind of ran at each other. Also, for whatever reason, GTFO keeps going off every time he punches, and it's really annoying.
Imagine you could probably turn that off.
I really hate the camera views on this fight.
It is kind of a shit.
You're not the only one.
We were just saying this.
Top down if you need to.
I'm in top down about 90% of the fight most of the time.
More or less is what I've been doing.
I'm gonna try to get him all the way back there so we can just use the wall for the knockback clock.
And then which way are we running
start.
to get out? For stop.
Away from the ranged.
Like towards where his left is now. Just that general direction.
Yeah, like that way.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
I've got to be this close to reach tanks.
Okay, step up range.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
To the left, get close to the gate.
Beware. Run away, little girl. Run away.
4, 3, 2.
Step up.
Beware.
2-minute cooldown's coming up.
Beware.
We're gonna go into the alcove when it drops.
Beware. Run away, little girl. Run away.
Into the alcove.
Melee, let's try to get a little closer to these first.
Look to the left.
Beware.
When we get a chance, we're gonna stay to that area.
Run away, little girl.
After the stomp.
Can you put a lock gate up across these portals?
Go.
Never mind.
Beware.
Fuck you, asshole.
3-minute.
You can have that whole area by the gate now. Clock, I'm gonna back him up a little bit towards the first pillar that's broken, just to give them a bit more space.
Everyone stack. We're gonna go forward on the next drop.
Beware. Run away, little girl. Run away.
To the left. Go back to the gate, back to the gate. Want someone up?
Oh, we need our healer.
2, 1.
The left.
We get out.
Beware.
Regather up range.
I can't reach tanks.
Beware.
Oops.
Step up. Stay away from the pillar, though. Step up.
You guys are near the pillar.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Charge coming up.
Get away from the pillar. Slowly move away from the pillar all range.
Don't kill each other.
Slowly. Slowly. There's one res available.
Anybody you can reach is fine.
Beware. Run away, little girl. Run away.
Fair move.
Yay! Sorry about that chain break there.
What happened? What happened?
What happened was when we were rotating around here, the tanks were in a position where we had to step up, which meant that we couldn't stay. So when we had a charge, when we had to get away from the pillar, and we got knocked back, which broke some change because some people got knocked back in different ways. And then we had charge, we needed to get away from the pillar or we were going to die. And some people ran very quickly away from each other, which caused death.
Fortunately, this mirror does not seem beyond repair. Be warned.
Unfortunately, sometimes you have to eat the stun so you don't instantly kill yourself and your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what killed me this second round. Is I was going to dodge and then realized my chain friend got stunned, so I couldn't move any further.
Yeah, and I mean that sort of happens. Again, that's why you want to move as little as you possibly can. That way, if someone happens to get stunned, they will be okay.
I just did half of my health and
Did
killed
bad?
myself with a Shadow Word Death.
When he was taking extra damage.
I want to go get my. I want to go
I
get my monk now.
exploded myself. Just complete wreck.
There we go. So I'm going to go get my monk.
Hey, maybe y'all can help me out. I was watching some people do some of these fights earlier, and as soon as a boss fight starts up, they have I guess a plate or something that comes up on the side that has their name on it and like their life, and it constantly stays there throughout the fight. Because during this fight, I always lose like my target for some reason, and I'm not attacking anything. I'm not too sure why.
They may have them set as focus target, or they may have a weak aura that does that for them.
You also may have to turn on sticky targeting in the interface settings, so that if you click on the ground while you have something targeted, it doesn't just
I lost target because we
doesn't
were
lose
so
target.
I ended up accidentally clicking on teammates, so I slashed focus so it would be easier for me to retarget the boss if I lost him. So I could just click on focus and go back.
Okay, yeah, that's where I'm running into issues right now. Is just whenever I'm moving around, especially on that fight, I'm losing the target. And you said I should turn on sticky targets in the interface?
Yeah. It just prevents you from like being able to untarget your target if you click on the ground.
I only
It won't untarget your target if you click on another friendly by accident, but it at least is a little more forgiving. Sometimes you're moving your camera around or you click on the ground somewhere and lose your target.
You can also
But-
make sure whatever your like party frame setup has your boss frames visible, so that you can just click on the boss frame to get it back quickly.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Some kind of boss frame. Where would I get that at, or how would I do that?
There's a default one built into the game that you can't really do much with. But if you have any kind of different like party frames, it probably also changes the target and boss frame.
Do we have any trash before the next boss fight?
Yeah, I thought we did. Yes.
Yeah, there's
Back up.
a little bit of trash.
Taking all my strength to hold back their onslaughts.
Oh, look, there it is.
Call, Grishol, do not be blinded
You get a wealth portal?
loyalty. The bargain Nathria struck will destroy Revendreth.
You are a disgrace to our kind, Draven. If you will not serve, then you will fall! Stoneborn!
Ink.
Strike down these usurpers!
So I believe that ability right there.
So I'm rebooting.
Okay. That leap and stun on one person is going to be a lot of spot healing on one person. I believe you will see that on the boss fight.
Before we pull the boss, can we do a 5-minute break?
Yeah, that's fine.
Surprised it hasn't come at us yet there.
You see that? He tried to bad touch me.
He did.
Far away.
It's so angry.
He just wanted to point out that you and him are nothing but mammals, and he wanted to do it like they did.
Alright, if you need a quick break, go now.
I want to put up a couple of world markers, one kind of give or take about here, another one kind of give or take over here, just for the bleeds to go out to.
Where do you want him? I gave you assist too.
So if you get the bleed, basically you want to run to either red or blue, wherever your friend is not run to. That way you don't cleave anybody else with it.
Sorry, I missed any explanation.
It's
quick break for a few people while you were restarting anyway, so.
Yeah, we haven't gone over the explanation. This is a relatively easy fight. Actually, I wouldn't even say relatively. This is an easy fight. It's 2 phases. Oh, it's 3 phases, I guess, is the easiest way to go. We're gonna Call's gonna come down. We're gonna beat him up. While he's down, however, every once in a while, he's going to run out and select 2 people that are going to with Wicked Blade. they're going to want to run one person to X, one person to square, take the Wicked Blade, and then run back in. I know the difference is, Clock, you want to wipe us. If you didn't, then it would be very easy.
Only sometimes.
And so while that's happening, you're just going to get, basically it's going to happen. Once we're there, we're going to DPS him to 50%. Once that happens, he's going to fly up in the air, and we're going to get a Goliath that's going to come down onto the ground. When the Goliath comes down to the ground, basically there's going to be a couple of different mechanics. Most of us are basically just killing that. There will be orbs that eventually pop up. You have to grab the orbs and run them to the prince. Don't do it immediately, because you really want to make sure that you're getting the Goliath down before you worry about the orbs. But you can start to get a couple here and there as they pop up, getting them more. I think once you get them 5 orbs, he fires, and the other then Grishal comes down. The only other thing is during that, every once in a while you're going to get you're going to get a circle on you that's going to crystallizing thing. You want to bring the crystallizing circle in with everybody, so that, and if you have a bleed, you want to be in the crystallizing circle, because it will remove the bleed once it hits. As soon as that hits, though, you want to get out, because then you're going to get a meteor that comes out. And that's going to happen throughout the fight. When afterwards, eventually you're going to get what they call the stone spike. You're going to get a bunch of swirlies on the ground. You just want to keep running around, making sure you're not getting hit by the brown swirlies. Once you get Grishal to 50%, he goes up. You get the second intermission, rinse and repeat. Then they come back down. You hero and nuke them down evenly, because you want to kill them very close.
Close.
Yeah, as close as you can get them to the same time, because once you kill one of them, the other one rages and starts doing a lot of damage.
Clock, basically we can taunt every time there's a crystallized burst going out. Whoever gets the bleed can stand in the burst to get stunned and clear the bleed.
So when burst goes out, we switch?
Yeah, whenever you see the circle for the crystallized burst. Basically, anyone that stands in that circle will be stunned for a few seconds, but it'll clear any bleeds that they've got. So everyone that's got a bleed can get in that circle, and then shortly after it drops a meteor on that circle, and everyone needs to get in it to stack.
Basically, this is one of those fights that it doesn't matter if you're ranged or melee, you kind of want to be stacked close to melee. I don't know if everyone's back yet. I know we had a few people that wanted a couple-minute break.
I think I get it.
I know in my case, I'm just going to have to see it.
Kragar, in that last fight, did you run into the pillar like I did?
When?
When the rubble was falling on our heads?
No, I ran right and you ran left. When we broke the chain?
I got hit by the falling rubble before they broke the chain.
Sorry, I'm moving people around in groups for the next fight.
I'm not. I don't.
Just to see who's back.
All I kept hearing was them saying "move left" for the range, so I'm just gonna move left.
That makes sense. I was like, oh, there's much smaller of an area for me to move to go slightly to the right to get out of this thing, and then I see my chain buddy going to the left, and I'm like, shit. And I was like, okay, I'll go around the puddle once it's fallen, and then went snap, and I was like, oh.
I saw a shiny blue raptor go sprinting away from the whole rest of the raid, and I was like, I'm doomed. I'm too slow for this.
And then as I was dead,
I know that feel,
watched
bro.
somebody get booted by the kick.
With the melee that we have in that fight, I always feel like the fat kid on the track team just trying to keep up.
I'm right there with you.
There's no guys. Come on, wait. Ah! Freaking all leather melee team with their speed enhancements and shit.
It'll be okay.
I'm still bitter.
That's fair.
Comparatively, at least.
So if you get marked for the bleed, you're going to try to stack. Just go stand by yourself by one of the blue or the X so that you're spread away from other people. There's an ability that's basically like a sort of brown circle, it look like. Crystallized burst on someone, and anybody that stands in that will have their bleed stacks cleared. So if you have stacks from the bleed and the tanks that need to drop stacks stand in that circle, you'll be stunned for a few seconds, and then after that stun ends, there's a meteor drops on that location. Everyone wants to step in to help soak it. When the first one gets to 50%, then we get the Goliath ad, we kill the Goliath. It's gonna randomly jump on a player and do a whole bunch of damage to that one person while they're stunned for 4 seconds. And I believe some little red swirlies to dodge as well during that phase.
The orbs that go out that we've got to bring in?
Once the Goliath is low, the red orbs that drop, you click on them, you have 15 seconds to run it over to this guy.
I don't even think you need to click on them.
Oh, you just run through them?
Yeah.
Okay. Once you grab the orbs, you run them over to him to fill up his mana. Ideally, we want to fill him up once the ad is at least, like, low or dead. Also, don't be, like, way close to the edge of the platform, because I believe when he gets full mana, he does a knockback, and you don't want to be near the edge. But we should all be pretty clustered up anyway.
Does
Only
it
people
boot
moving
you
out are
in the
for the
opposite
bleed.
direction you're facing, or does it boot you like in a
Boot you away
Away
from
from him, like outwards.
Just make sure you're not near the edge and go flying off. That's,
yeah.
I mean, you want to be maybe near circle. That would be.
Second one, Clock, there's a debuff called Stone Fist that we want to swap. I believe we can swap after one, but I'm not positive. We'll find out.
I'm sure one of us will miss and we'll find out.
Yep.
Basically, if you are not don't have a bleed, stay away from X, stay away from green or blue. And then other than that, if you do have one of the bleeds coming towards you, then you want to run to that. So
what's the
for what, the daggers?
Wicked Blade. Yeah, so if you get Wicked Blade, you want to run to either X or blue. One of you each.
The second part, when people run out to drop puddles, do multiple of them have to be soaked, or is that only heroic?
That's only heroic.
No. You're talking about the big brown circles later?
Yeah, reverberating eruption.
Those are going to have to get soaked.
Yeah, but you don't have to have multiple people soak them. You just can soak them with one person.
But I mean, there'll be multiple puddles up at once.
Yes, I mean, if you've got two puddles, two people are going to have to soak one per puddle.
Yeah, it's one person a puddle, though.
Yeah.
In heroic, I think it just puts a debuff on you, and you have to rotate the people soaking.
Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, I haven't gotten to this fight in heroic yet.
So in the second phase, when we're fighting Grishal, if you get picked for reverberating eruption, just move away from the group, try to drop it off to the side, and it's going to leave a circle that needs to be soaked by one person. And if there may be 1, 2, or 3 of those up at the same time, so I need the range to keep an eye on that and make sure that someone is in each of those circles. If we can get the circles to overlap, you could probably use an immunity to soak too, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you have an immunity.
You will show the proper respect.
Do you know what kind of damage is considered?
I have no idea.
Cool.
It's okay,
The,
guys. I got wings. They'll think.
Stone Fist does a knockback clock, so it should be pretty obvious. One of us goes flying. And last phase, when we're fighting both at the same time, we want to try to kill them together. And taunt swap on them for clearing the bleed stacks.
It's nature damage for that big brown circle.
Damn. Okay.
When they're both down, do we have to worry about the blades and the circles and everything together?
Probably.
I can't remember, and from what I remember, you might not even necessarily have to run out to X and square with the blade. I think it only affects the 2 people that get targeted. But it's that theory.
No, it still does an AoE. I've been hit with the AoE. It's just in heroic, you have to get out of the path. So in heroic, you don't.
So it's just one of those things you get used to for later.
Yeah, players within 8 yards, so it does have a small radius. It's not huge.
It's
you
not
may
huge.
not have to go all the way to the square if you can't get there, but it is a small radius around people.
During the transition, when they swap or whatever, that blade still happens, but instead of being like X and square, you just need to be, the 2 people that get marked just need to be as close to basically where they're starting as you are now, further away from the raid.
Well, that's
once you see it.
That's true in heroic. It's not true in normal. In heroic, if I'm standing here, even though I'm 8 yards away from square, and he runs through me, I still get the bleed, even though I'm not there.
No, I mean the blade.
Blade. If I'm in the path of the blade, even if I'm not within 8 yards, I still get hit. Or
what I'm saying is, instead of it being vertical like X and square, it would be on a horizontal this way, being further up away from the raid, instead of it being to the left.
So like out here somewhere.
Basically, instead of being all the way over here to the left, just worry about getting as far away up towards them as possible, the 2 people. Because we're tanking shit in a different position, I'm assuming, right? Or where are you tanking it? It'll make more sense once people have seen it.
One sec.
So during the intermission, I'm going to move blue a little bit, but if you can stand on blue and green instead of blue and X.
Patrick. Wait, Pat's on, right?
Yeah, Pat's on yellow heel.
If you have an offhand, it's an offhand only thing. So if you have an offhand that's 207 or above, you can trade that. So yes, it is tradable, but you have to have an offhand that's 207 or above. Okay, so we have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, then you have intermissions. So during phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3, so whenever there's a boss down and they're not flying up in the air, if you get Wicked Blades, one of you stack goes to blue, the other one goes to X. If neither boss is down and you get Wicked Blades, one of you goes to blue, the other one goes to green. Hopefully that makes sense.
And you only get the bleed if you've been targeted by Wicked Blades, right?
Correct. Yeah, so if
if you're near someone that has the thing and they don't get out.
Yeah, so let's say I get targeted by Wicked, or let's say I don't get targeted with Blaze Think, and I run to X, and Jen's got it. Instead, I'm here. We both get the bleed, even though I didn't get targeted by it. And let's say we both got targeted by it, we now both actually get 2 stacks of it because we're too close. So that's just what you need to do for Wicked Blades. That's really the only thing that's going to kill people in this fight is either getting hit by a floor effect, getting knocked off the edge, or the bleed. There's not much other damage or mechanics going out. So as long as you can manage the bleed and not get stacks, you're fine. In fact, I think last time I killed this, I never got my bleed cleared because there was a glitch, and when I was standing in the clean, it never got me. And they were able to, the healers were able to heal too easily. So it's really avoiding getting multiple stacks of the bleed. It sucks, but that's what you're looking for. So again, if you get that, what you don't want to get is everybody getting cleaved by it. So
So priority, if you can't make it to the markers, away from other people. We're going to be in the center of the room here. You should be able to stay away from those markers. That way, those people always have somewhere to run that's safe. And when we're doing the intermission, you want to be not too far off the edge. Nice try. Trying to kill people over there or what?
Yeah, but that's okay.
Healers, if you see that on somebody and you dispel it, make sure you focus them for a few seconds afterwards because they will be taking damage.
Make intermission red and green. That way we're a little bit less danger of getting knocked off the edge.
I mean, basically, those 2 people just need to be the closest 2 people to the boss because the boss will be in the air close to where they are now. That's.
And then those people that get marked for the bleed can stand in the circle around the person that gets crystallized burst, and it will clear the bleed. Should clear the bleed if it works. Which this fight has been full of bugs, apparently.
I haven't had the issue yet, but maybe I've just been lucky.
I know the mythic version of the fight was just riddled with bugs and the blade hitting twice each time, and it was a mess.
Yeah, I have not heard many in the normal. Again, when we went through this, we one-shot it without too much trouble. So it's not to say that we're going to, because, but it's definitely not the fight that I would be going, oh my god, I'm worried about this fight being a wall either. If you did Sludge Fist, you can do this fight, trust me.
Yeah, I mean,
go on the bleed, get away from the group. Second part, if you get Reverberating Eruption, drop it away from the group. You don't have to go super far because it leaves a puddle that one person has to soak. So ranged, I need you keeping an eye out for those brown circles that will be off to the side. One person per circle to soak them. So they pop on one person, not everybody.
You won't win.
Certainly.
Let's give it a shot.
0.
5.
At the end.
4.
Once both are down.
2. 1.
Your rebellion ends here!
Traitors must die!
The world will be reborn and tear you asunder!
Move out with the blade.
Crystallize.
Don't
Get that big circle in. If you've got
everybody in it.
We want some people stacking in that even if they don't have a bleed, right?
Yes. Everyone should be stacked. If you can be everyone just be stacked as much as you can.
Blades out. Clock, go ahead and take them.
About to get on the Stone Legion. Watch out for orbs that you can get.
Watch swirlies.
Everyone should be on the Goliath. Do not be on the boss.
Out with the blades. Orbs over to Renethal. If you've got a red orb.
Everyone get away from the edge. Back on to Gershal.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Watch for your feet.
So that big brown puddle over there will be the one that needs to be soaked. I think it'll start glowing.
Stand in it right now.
Get someone in.
Wait till it starts glowing to stand in it, otherwise you're just taking unnecessary damage.
Don't be in this circle, but be close to it.
Whoever's in the big brown circle over there, get out. Okay, get out. Now that it's glowing, that's when you want to.
Yeah, now you want it.
One person.
Bring that in.
Just when I couldn't remember exactly.
Somebody's gonna have to soak the other puddle over there? Okay.
Someone by the puddle.
I got it.
One on each side.
4, 3,
Beware.
Watch your feet.
4,
Unemployed, you don't need to be standing in it right now. Wait till it starts
Just
glowing
stand
now.
here, now get in it.
Now get in.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, only one person. Somebody's
We're
already.
about to get to the next transition. Alright, everyone on the Goliath. If you see Bills, bring him to Renethal.
Don't run away with the crystallize.
2, 1.
Sorry.
2, 1.
But you gotta split the damage so you don't die from.
Yellow arrow on your head, get out. It's good.
Hell, you got the anima.
Bring red orbs to the guy in the center if you got them. Whoever's got a red orb over their head, get it over there.
4, 3,
Title. Go.
Beware.
4,
Get away from the edge.
2, 1. 2, 1.
Hero.
2, 1.
Stay in with that one. That's the crystallize.
3, 2, 1.
Out with the blades.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Soak the brown circles. Oh, someone dropped an eruption right in the group. It's moving. Remember, we want them to die at the same time.
We're on call.
Soaked brown swirlies. Good.
Stop damage under control. You get a little bit more even.
That's the
Get that one in. No, don't play that.
I realized my bad.
You're just trying to make me feel better.
I got you.
Beware.
Alright, back to both.
Watch your feet.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Outplayed.
4, 3, 2, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
So
No one getting out.
Beware.
watch your feet.
4, 3, 2, 1. Two, 1.
Did someone say easy?
Yep.
Poor Clock had to die at the last second.
I would have lived if I didn't get stunned.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And people getting fucking memories and shit's half the reason the loot's so bad.
Oh no, the
No, it's not.
the memories are auto drops. They have absolutely nothing to do with the rest of the loot. The reason
Conduits
that
as well.
those are completely separate. The reason the loot sucks is because
They deliberately decided to reduce.
yeah, because Blizzard decided that they wanted to fuck us all over.
I got a chest. Okay.
Congrats.
Okay, so I pre-divided everyone into groups. So if you're in group 1 or 3, you're going to stack on top of Jen. She is with the blue square. And I mean every single person. I don't care if you're range, melee, healer. It doesn't matter. You are stacking on top of Jen or you will die during the intermission, period. If you are other than that, you are going to be stacking on top of Clock. In this what happens in the first phase is there's an ability called Cleansing Pain. When Cleansing Pain goes out, you will all start with 4 stacks. Once you get hit by Cleansing Pain, it will remove one of your stacks, do a bunch of damage to you, and summon a bunch of adds. Once those adds come out, we need as much AoE nuke damage on those adds as physically possible, because they start doing a huge amount of damage the longer they're up. So we need to start casting everything we can. Shortly after that, we're going to get what they call a blood price. It's going to pick us up, stun us, do some damage, and knock us all back. So that's where, if you're in Clock's group, it's going to be a little bit more challenging, because you're going to get knocked back, which means you want to make sure you need to get back to Clock pretty quickly.
For that, I've noticed the easiest thing to do is after the first Cleansing Pain happens, Clock will go ahead and hold aggro from there. When everybody gets knocked back, just focus on stacking up on Clock and let Sire move to Clock.
Yes, I agree. I mean, once the first Cleansing Pain goes off, Clock can taunt, just take it, and then after the Cleansing Pain goes off, the second one goes off, we're going to all have to move. He's going to do an ability called Ravage, I believe it is.
Command Ravage, yes.
Command Ravage, and a third of the room is going to be covered with gunk. So we need to move quickly. So Rain, this is where you get to shine. Or Title. Actually, I want Rain going first. I want Stampeding Roar, and everyone needs to get out. Everyone in groups 1 and 3 restack on Jen. Repeat and rinse and repeat until we get him to 70% health. At 70% health, we're all going to get stunned and then dragged into a room. Or we're all going to get stunned and shot to the edge of the room. You have no ability to use any movement increasing things. I've heard that you can pre-do stuff like doing
like Spirit Wolf and shit. Yes, if you have it like if you're already in that form before that happens, you'll be in Spirit Wolf for it.
Yeah. So you can pre-Spirit Wolf, you can pre-do that. I've also heard that a lock can put down a gate that people can click on if they are close. But the important thing is you need to, as fast as you can, if you're not near any of those things, slowly make your way to the very center of the room. Once you get to the center room, you're going to have all your stacks removed. The reason you need your stacks is those stacks slow how fast you can get there. The more stacks you have, the slower you get. Where I believe it's 20% per stack. So if you have 4 stacks, you're slowed by 80%. So 40% you can make it. If you're 2 stacks, you're okay. 1 stack obviously you can make it there easily. Generally 2 stacks is sufficient to get through there. So once you get hit twice, you're generally sufficient. But you need to get hit twice. Once you get there, we get to the center. We get to the phase 2. Phase 2 is a little bit more complicated, and what Remoria is going to come out, and we're going to go down and beat on the boss. He's going to summon a bunch of ads every once in a while. He's going to do I believe it's command massacre during that, where he's just going to get a big red circle around him, and we have to run through a mirror to get to another areas. Tanks are going to have to point his AoE at the ranged ads. Ranged, you have to get the ads on the platform. You can't expect the melee to get there. We don't have any melee that can get there easily. Theoretically, Krieger can shadow step over and shadow step back. I can preset up a port and Warlock gate over, then port back. But at the same time, it's not.
We have so many damn ranged.
It's not worth it for us to go waste our time.
I agree. It's really not worth it for us to go over and use that range. You've got to be on the ads that are on the platforms. You're going to nuke those down once, but you're going to want to stay close. The only other thing is that eventually you're going to see a bunch of lines coming on the ground. So just don't get hit by them. Step out of them. They will come. There's going to be a lot of lines, so it's not like it's called Crimson Chorus. You're going to have to step out of them. It's not going to be easy, but it's sort of what you have to do. Then eventually we're going to get to phase 3. Phase 3, basically, we're going to have once we push him to 40% health, he's going to suck us all into the center of the room, and we're going to have this big circle that happens. He's going to do, again, the same thing where he has I think it's Sinister Reflection, that basically will cover a third of the floor again, and so we kind of do that, and we have to kill them. You can cleave, do so onto him and Remoria, because he takes the same amount of damage he takes all the damage that Remoria does. Other than that, I can't think of any other major stuff that goes on in the last phase. Seeds! I forgot about the seeds. You might have to soak some seeds. They're just big little red circles. Any questions? I know it's a lot.
Yeah, just if you wouldn't mind calling out Stampeding Roar, and that way I know when to do it.
Yeah, I'll call it
when his command goes out, basically, and we have to move, because a third of the room is not going to be habitable again anymore.
So I'll try to call out when I see stuff and remember stuff, because while I've done this boss a few times, I sort of, some of the time I just do stuff automatically and don't really think about it. So I'll try to call stuff out as it's coming. So the one, it's in doing that. So there's a few bleeds, so watch out for the bleeds. But the biggest thing I saw that killed people is not getting their stacks removed by whatever it is. And if you had
hit by the pain thing,
not getting
get hit by the cleave thing.
Yeah, if you don't get hit by the cleave, you will die. And then other than that, so Billy, stand with Jen. You'll be on Jen's side. And every time there's a cleansing pain go up, Billy, I don't know if he's in Discord or not.
Yeah, man.
Make sure you've got enough. Make sure you have enough astral power to cast Starfall. That is God tier in the first phase. Is having Starfall ready to go, because that helps a lot getting all these very, very diverse ads there. Clock, if you want to. I don't know if they can be gripped or not, but you can try. I don't know if we ever tried or not, but you can try gripping them. But the third phase, I just remember it basically being a pure burn phase. That's where we will hero. Is on the third phase.
It's actually a 12-minute fight. We'll go ahead and pop it at the start as well.
It's not necessarily a 12-minute fight.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's also the first time most people have seen this. It's probably going to take us a few attempts.
Yeah, but the first phase, the hero's not really. It's not. Again, the hero's not going to benefit people. Pushing that phase faster may actually hurt us, because if you push that phase too fast, and you
clear enough stacks.
will clear enough stacks, and you can push that phase because it's not a time base where he's going to get X amount of cast off. It's once you get him to 70%. So you really don't want to push that first phase too quickly. If you have the DPS to get it in time, you want to take the time on that phase rather than pushing the phase. So we do not want to hero on that first phase.
There is another debuff, feeding time, a small circle around people. If you get that, move away from your little stack group, but make sure that you get grouped back up with your tank.
And I can't verify this, but I do think it might be better to keep moving on that, because once they come out, they sort of stand in place and hit you. I've timed it well enough to where they've come out and tried to hit me, but I was moving, so they never did. I mean, just, I don't know.
For the feeding time ability?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can try.
If you get picked for that, move out and then keep moving.
It could just be a bug, though. You know, I don't...
Yeah.
Because it's happened both ways, so...
So, does anybody have any questions? I know that that's a lot of stuff going on. The first phase, I think, is relatively speaking easy as long as you are stacking. You know, as long as you're stacking with your friend or on your tank.
Do we want him near a wall, or do we near the center, or?
Middle is easier just because you don't... It does I mean, it's a third of the room at a time in a pipe.
Yeah.
So the closer you are, the less you have to move.
Yeah, we kept him in the middle the entire time, so I think that's fine. You know, the only other thing is if you want to set up a Warlock gate early on, you can try setting up a Warlock gate from the outside to the inside, and then theoretically, if you get lucky, someone will get a chance to click on the gate and basically go for free there.
Yeah, there's no way to guarantee a stack on that. It does split us, right?
Yeah, it splits you and shoots you out, so you're all different. Other than that, again, the thing that's really going to kill most people, for the most part, is not stacking properly. As long as you do that, most of the time you'll be okay. Or not killing the ads. That's the other big one, is making sure. And again, this is a more heavy on the range than is on the melee, just because they kind of do that. So, your
first phase, yes.
For the first phase, you are stacked on top of Jen for the entire first phase. During the second phase, no, you do not want to stack anymore. Then you
until
are
70%, and then 70%. It transitions. Until then, he's going to do a cleave that hits everybody that's stacked with me. So say I'm tanking him, he's going to cleave and hit me and everybody around me, but it's going to remove these stacks of a debuff that we need to get hit by that cleave twice, but we want to stagger, like, we'll do it, he'll hit my side, and then Clock will take it, and it'll hit Clock's side, clear stacks on those people, and I'll take it back, and vice versa, so that we get, by the time the transition happens, we have stacks lower on everyone in the raid. And each time we get hit, we get ads based on all the people that were hit. So we want only half the raid at a time getting hit.
And what I just typed out will make more sense after we've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll call that out if we need to go back because ads are still up.
A lot of it, people are just going to have to see to make sense of. I know it's a ton of information to take in right now.
It's a long fight, and it will make more sense as the fight goes on, because as the fight goes on, you know, after you've done it a couple of times, you'll go, okay, I see what they were yelling at me to do, or what they were talking about, and it was just going to take you a few pulls, but you'll get there pretty quickly. All right, let's try a pull.
Alright, hang on. So...
after each cleansing, keeping him in the center. You can stay on the right side of the room, I'll stay on the left until we have to move. But, basically where we move will be just... you and I don't want to be together so that our groups can stack on each other.
Yeah, another thing, basically try to stay outside his red circle. I'm assuming all melee would be able to hit him from there. But, like, there's, I mean...
don't be up his butt.
Yes.
Got it.
For when the ads come out, you want the groups split well enough that only, like, half the raid gets hit. And
yeah.
But we'll just go for now.
The path for our ascension. What to do, what to do.
Please, Master! It's been so long since I cut into living flesh. Let me Skewer them, slice them, slash them, vivisect them, cut ribbons from their...
Pace yourself, Rimonia. Rushing one's work is so unflattering. I shall assist our guests with their atonement. Once they have repented, I will permit you to rend their bodies and send their souls screaming into the maw. Let your penance begin. 3, 2, 1. Beware. Confess your sins, lest they...
Ads coming.
Ads top priority.
Your hubris amassed a debt you
Alright.
cannot pay.
So make sure everyone's stacking up on Billy.
2, 1.
Or sorry, unclock the need to.
That's only the people that are in his group.
Yeah, that, yeah.
Everybody else up with the ads, out with feeding time.
You can't grip them.
No, they're stationary. Can't move them at all.
2, 1.
Exterminate this vermin.
Impeding roar. I think we should wipe it. Looks like we've got a lot dead.
Yep.
And we're not even over the DPS threshold, by the way. I mean, he's already done one, and we're just now hitting 90. I get we've got people down, but...
People down, I mean, we've got more than half the raid down.
The ads on clock side took forever to go down.
I think people are spreading out way too much.
Yeah.
So it's making the ads spawn really spread out.
When we say stack, we mean stack literally on the tank's face for that. Get in nice and close. It does throw the ads out a little ways from the players. Like, it's not spawning right where the players were standing. So they're gonna end up a bit spread out.
And we're not swapping sides to pick the ad, to help with the ads, right? We're not going to do the movement.
No, we're not going to swap sides. I think that ends up causing more problems than it solves. As you get people that get confused about where am I stacking, what side am I stacking on, versus just having him flip. I think when you have him flip, it makes a lot. It makes it a lot easier for most people as they understand, okay, I just stack on my side with my tank. I think when you tell, oh, you've got to switch from one side to the other, it makes life a lot more difficult. So. Dogs, you were getting pelted by the ads. That looks like, I mean, mine only goes back 6 seconds, but you were getting pelted by the ads, and then when he did blood price, everybody in the raid, ideally 4 is probably better, but because we've got 21, but at the same time,
Well, I mean, Billy can switch back to heals if we need to. So the stampeding roars, when he starts lighting up a pie slice of the room, we all need to get out of there quickly and then reposition around that.
Yeah, we all basically need to get out as quick as hell. As soon as you see that red third of the room, start moving. Another thing is, after we get knocked back, it's generally easier to go counterclockwise just because of where he is and where everybody else is, instead of going clockwise, usually, but...
I mean, I just went the shortest distance out of the red shit on the ground.
That's why I say usually, but I get it.
Yeah, we can go either direction.
I don't think that the third of the room he fills up is always the same.
It's always the third that you're standing in.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't think that's always like a set position, though. Like, that third of the room can change. It's not always going to be the exact same third,
My understanding was it was based on where the boss is.
We also still had ads alive when we all get stunned, so we need the DPS on those ads to be really, really good. so that we get all the ads dead, ideally before we get stunned in the air, so we don't have people getting pelted by the ads while we're all stunned in the air, unable to do anything.
I'll be right back.
So when the ads are out, ads are always always the first priority.
So Clock, whichever one has him when he does the red on the ground and we all move out, whichever tank has him, reposition him so there's room away from the puddle on both sides of him. And whoever's tanking, their group stacks up on them and the other group stacks behind him. So that we can get grouped back up again. Crier, are you back?
Sorry, the kid is playing in the other room, and I thought I heard her say ow, 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 but apparently she was pretending her dragon was hurt in the dungeon of her castle, apparently. So, I just wanted to go check.
At least you can still hear her.
Kind of. They're in the kitchen, and it's like half hurt.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let your penance begin.
3, 2, 1.
Confess your sins, lest they consume.
My side, kill the ads.
Your hubris amassed a debt you cannot pay.
3, 2, 1.
Beware. Cleanses the soul.
Ads on Clock side. Move out with feeding time.
Cannot be challenged.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Exterminate this vermin.
Stampede and roar.
Looks like we had a feeding time go off right in the middle of the group. Hit multiple people.
2, 1.
Beware. Cleanses the soul.
My side finish off the ads.
Your vanity will cost you everything.
3, 2, 1.
Beware. Cleanses the soul.
Ads on Clock side coming up.
Everybody should be on the ads.
Try to keep moving with feeding time if you can.
4,
It might reduce the damage.
1.
Beware. Exterminate this vermin.
Splatter them across your walls.
3, 2.
Confess your sins, lest they consume.
This is gonna be a wide, probably.
Please. It's gonna happen, but it's better that people get to see some of the mechanics.
Oh, I agree.
3, 2, 1.
Confess your sins, lest they consume.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Beware. Exterminate this vermin.
This is gonna kill everyone.
AMS?
3, 2.
Not with, yeah, we.
This reduces your healing by 100%. There ain't shit what you do.
75%. Do you have the other two?
It's 70%.
70. That's why I was saying you need to do 11% each time before each of its command abilities.
Yeah, so we need definitely having a little bit on the lower side for DPS. So we definitely, I know it's a lot, but you've got to be ramping up DPS. It's not you don't need to hold cooldowns. You need to be getting DPS going.
Another thing I noticed, and I'm not sure why, maybe it was because people were hugging his ass and not outside of the red circle, but whenever the ads were supposed to spawn on Jin's side, they spawned like between both the groups instead of just one group, and it wasn't bad enough.
Well, again, everyone should be doing AoE, as much AoE damage during that phase as possible.
No, I get that, but I think it's a stacking issue with not being outside of his red circle, so the groups are too close together, so whenever we're marked for that ability, it's picking people from both groups instead of just one.
Oh, you had people picked on the other side?
Well, I mean, I saw ads all around the other side when they should have been on our
we're
side.
stacked up in a tight puddle, and the ads come out of us in like a circle around us.
The ads are not going to be only on one side. I was trying to pay attention to how many stacks people have, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, my Adam was not giving me that. So I was looking for something where that.
I don't know. Windows pop up. Where is that?
Yeah, they don't. They spawn like they basically shoot out in a circle around us. The tighter we're stacked, the less spread they are. But they're still going to be spread out a bit.
Well, I mean, yeah,
some of them are still going to end up on the other side.
As far back as some of them looked, it didn't. It seemed like some people from the other side would have had to have gotten hit as well, and not just people from our group.
And I don't know if that was the case. What I was looking at is how many times people got hit by cleansing pain.
Oh, I get you. So if somebody had way too few stacks or something.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's really if you got hit by cleansing pain a few times.
I'm gonna shroud us once the countdown starts, so we can get in faster.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Let your penance begin.
3, 2, 1.
Beware. Cleanses the soul.
No, we were very tightly stacked. They still end up pretty far out. We've got Feeding Frenzy. Unfortunate that comes up at the same time.
Your vanity will cost you everything.
3, 2, 1.
Beware. Cleanses the soul.
Some players, 2 people did not get hit by anything.
And one person's gotten hit twice.
I don't have that. I've got.
Men's and Anita didn't get any stacks cleared.
So.
I'm showing Anita 1 stack, so she's gotten 2 cleared or 3 cleared. How wait, what?
I've got Men's and Anita at 6.
This something's not right here.
With DBM.
I'm at 4.
Yeah, the DBM frame's not updating nicely for the stacks on people.
Yeah, I have Meds and Anita both had 4 stacks.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Beware. Exterminate this vermin.
3, 2,
Confess your sins, lest they consume. Your hubris amassed a debt you cannot pay.
3, 2, 1.
Beware. Cleanses the soul.
Four, three, two, one.
Beware. Exterminate.
We got ads up in the back, but the time we had 3 DPS down.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap to
Who after
Druid.
the first?
I'm gonna swap to Druid so we can get some more AoE DPS. As we're losing that.
Do we want to swap the groups up so that people who are faster or could do like Ghost Wolf
Last time was
not get hit?
76%. Now it's 75.
Yeah, I mean it's there. I'm just swapping to someone who has a little bit more AoE DPS because we need AoE right now.
And I think we still have.
We're creeping forward.
I think we still have people dropping off the feeding time right in the middle of the group, and then people forgetting to stack up after that. You got to be stacked the rest of the time, but you need to get out for feeding time.
So it looked like a few people at least missed one of the clears of the stacks. So I don't know if that was just people not being close enough to the tank they're supposed to be stacked on.
Can you summon me back? I need to switch to AoE talents.
Yep.
If we need more AoE, I can go switch to my AoE talents too. Right now, I really don't have them on.
We should be okay. I think with just mine, we should be okay.
So, Jen, when you were saying that I had 4 stacks, what should I have done?
You should have been getting. You weren't stacked tightly enough when he does cleansing pain.
When the boss class can, so each of the tanks is going to be on one side of the boss. We have assigned groups to stack with that tank. When the boss does an ability on that tank, it's a cleave that hits everybody that's really close to me. So if you're with me, I guess you're on Clock side. So if you're with Clock, you need to be really close to Clock so that when he gets hit with that, everybody on that side gets hit with the cleave, which clears 1 stack of their debuff. And we need to rotate through clearing those a couple times before we get to the transition phase.
Stand closer to X.
Yes, if you're with the X group, you stand nice and close so that when cleansing pain happens, you're stacked on him. The exception is you can move a little bit when the ads spawn. When the ads spawn, you can go help kill them. You can move around a little bit, but get grouped back up on the X. And if you get picked for the debuff feeding time, which you can see in the little chat bubbles over everybody's head, we had several people staying in the group with that. And if it hits multiple people, I believe it heals him, which also hurts our DPS race to get him to 70 before he fills the room with shit. So if you get picked with feeding time, get away and keep moving. I know it sucks when it comes up during the ads and you want to help with the ads, but it's more important to get away with that, let it go off, then go back. And then as soon as the ads are dead, we get stacked back up on the tanks again.
Should we be blowing all our 2-minute cooldowns and 3-minute cooldowns at the beginning here?
Yes.
Yes.
You have to get through the phase, so there's no reason to wait.
Yeah, and just in case we do keep having issues with this, I'm gonna just start popping hero at the start, so maybe we got a chance at seeing more in the fight.
All right. and it's everybody that's around you. So regardless, you're healing them a little bit. But if you get out and you're not hitting anybody within 4 yards of you, you're only healing them for a little bit of damage versus healing them for a lot of damage.
Yeah. You can't prevent it from hitting one person, but you want to at least prevent it from hitting multiple.
I changed the noise so it made a different noise when it was on me, so it'd be more obvious.
Yes, blur defense
Damage,
cooldown would,
yeah.
because any damage reduction would help.
Is it physical damage?
Yes.
Okay. And it counts as AoE, so I can feint it and
Yep.
evasion.
Yes.
So darkness will also help with the feeding
Yes.
time?
Yeah, but you don't want to stack for that because it's better to have it better to be away. But if it selects you, you can blur one and darkness another. I mean, it's not a guarantee, but it could help. So
I was just thinking I could just throw darkness down when it pops, just in case.
yeah, but the problem is darkness is
Then
the
you won't
AoE.
see it. People won't see stuff at their feet if you're dropping darkness, and if
Yeah.
you drop it on you and you're standing in it, it might protect you by yourself, but other people might come and try to stand in it.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't want to drop darkness for that particular one. Blur is a better one. Use personal defense is a good one, but yeah, don't drop darkness on that one.
No, and when that first commander ravage comes out, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop my totem. So don't worry about trying to call it out. Getting food buff real quick.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let your penance begin.
3, 2, 1.
Confess your sins, lest they consume.
Walk talk.
Your hubris amassed a debt you cannot.
Make sure everybody's stacked up again.
3, 2, 1.
Beware. Cleanses the soul.
Good. Get those ads down, out with feeding time.
Shit.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Exterminate this vermin.
Move.
Stack back up with your groups.
Confess your sins, lest they consume. Cannot be challenged. Your vanity will cost you everything.
3, 2, 1.
Confess your sins,
Get stacked.
lest they consume.
Kill the ads again.
Cannot be challenged.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware. Exterminate this vermin.
You do not need to get hit by this if you've got 2 stacks.
Confess your sins, lest they consume. Your vanity will cost you everything.
3, 2, 1.
Confess your sins, lest they consume.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Warrior, rid my castle of these pests.
Goodbye, cruel world.
3, 2, 1.
So if you're at 2 stacks, you want to get out of the cleanse, right? And go
Yes.
to like if you're with clock and you have 2 stacks, go to Gen side for that third one.
Yeah.
If you're fast enough to make it with when you get slowed, yes. If you're not going to be able to, if you're slow and you know slow, get hit by the third.
No, you can make it with 2 stacks. Get used to making it with 2 stacks. You start with 5. You will never be able to get to below 2 in heroic. So get used to making it with 2. You need to get that's just flat out what you're going to need. You need all 3 cleanses in heroic, so get used to that. Get your 2 stacks. I think it might be beneficial to have either me or Billy go heals, because
Billy can swap.
Because I think part of what the issue we're having right now is we're
losing people too soon to get the DPS check.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I'm not saying that you're not trying. It's just the fact that we've only got with only 2 healers or 3 healers, and we should be having 4. It's this is not a low damage fight. It's not.
No, trust me. I know. I think it's the first time I've spiked like over 15,000 at the start there. I mean,
Yeah, we lost a healer really early on too.
No, dogs. Basically, think about it like this: the odd number group should be taking the odd number cleansing pains in DBM. If you're in the even number groups, you should be taking the even number cleansing pains from DBM.
Is cleansing plane still does damage to you, and everyone that gets it gets an add. You don't need to get every single one of them. So you should have a marker on your screen somewhere for a debuff that lets you know how many stacks of that happens. So if you're running low, if you go, hey, I missed one for whatever reason, yeah, you can go to the other side to go one. But basically, you want to get to about 2 stacks. When he's in that final phase, you want to make sure you got 2 stacks so that you can get through and finish them off quickly. Because 2 stacks is enough that you can get from that you can progress to the next phase, and that's what you want to get used to. And you just have to you will have to start walking in immediately, but you can do it with 2 stacks. You can do it with 3. It's a pain to do with 3, but you can do it with 3.
I wouldn't want. Well, I mean, even if I've got Spirit Wolf, I wouldn't want to do it with 3.
It's a little bit easier if you've got with the amount of priests we have. If one of the priests gets in, they can actually life grip you. Yeah.
The only time you wouldn't stack for Cleansing Pain is before the 3rd Command Ravage comes out, so it would be Cleansing Pains 5 and 6.
Yeah, then you don't need then it's probably a little bit easier to basically, instead of focusing on Cleansing Pain, focusing on burning the boss down to 70%, because we've been a little bit light on DPS for all of them, so we want to make sure that we're getting him down to 70% before he gets that last Cleansing Pain even out, ideally. And if we can, we want to push him down to 70% fast enough before he gets that last Command Ravage, or it's an auto wipe.
Yep, and if you've got any big cooldowns, use them early. They'll be back up for later parts of the fight, so get them out there early.
Hey, Danny, pop here at the start, please.
No, staying on Gen side or go to the other side?
You're on the same side, so the numbers stay the exact same. We just need you healing instead.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Cleanses the soul. Your vanity will cost you everything.
All the ads are dead. That's good.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Cleanses the soul.
You've missed all of them so far.
Get out, Katie, friend.
Finish off the ads.
3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Ready to move?
Move.
Confess your sins, lest they curse you. Your vanity will cost you everything.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Pain cleanses the soul.
Four, three, two, one.
Beware.
Rid my castle.
And again.
You don't need to have 2 stacks. You don't need to get.
Beware.
Cleanses the soul.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he snaps if you end up more than a few yards away.
Your hubris amassed a debt you cannot pay.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Confess your sins, lest they consume. My you cannot be challenged.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Rid my castle of these pests.
2% off. A little under 2%.
Beware.
There it is. That's face.
So just run to the middle, get the middle as fast as you can. You've got no speed buffs or anything else like that, but just get to the middle.
4,
And get all the way to the middle.
2, 1.
Don't run into it. It knocks you back.
Yeah, but you just want to get to the middle because once you get there, he cleanses the stack. So this is now phase 2.
And if a warlock can make it, you can too.
Hey, the paladin made it, sort of.
And your suffering shall be
I believe it's north, isn't it? Yes.
Ranged on the platform ad.
We want to get stacked closer to the mirror here.
Yeah, so bring close to those 2 ads. Melee, if the cleanse on the cleave onto those ad.
Well, the ad should be first priority at the moment, shouldn't they?
Yes. Everyone should be on ads and cleaving onto boss versus the other way around. Multi Daughters, it's your time to shine.
So
Okay, run through the mirror.
after the ability goes off, go back through.
Alright, everyone can go back through.
Finish off the ads.
That's lazy.
I'm dead way over by the other mirror, by the way.
I'll go get her.
I got her.
Sense here.
Run through.
devoted apostles. Handle this filth.
Again, on the ads on the.
And we still have an ad up on the other side.
There's still 3 ads up right now.
Beware.
Massacre these whelps. I cut you down.
Healers, I'm using a mana pot. I'm out for turn. On through. Back.
Get back to the other side to finish off the ad.
At least we've gotten to see it. I mean, the dance, so butts out, butt tanks are down. This is gonna be a wipe, but
yeah.
I mean, at least people were able to see the second phase now. I mean,
yep.
I will cut you down.
Beware.
Massacre these whelps.
We'll get some practice at least seeing some of the other mechanics.
Oh, were we still going? Or I just fucking couldn't hear you.
I figured we go as long as we can, given the fact that this way people can actually see this phase. But you can see there's more ads that are spawned. We just need to get all of them out.
Yeah, after that we need to swap to east or west. Tank pick one move, I mean...
Yeah, now we need to swap, we can swap to east. There's an ad that's kind of in that direction. So through the mirror and then kind of go to the one...
Yeah, just go straight and go right.
Yeah.
Beware.
Carve screams from their flesh. Scream for me.
But now that everyone's seen the first two phases, does anybody have questions?
Trust me, we get through the first two, the phase 3 is easy.
Yeah, that phase was much easier than the first phase.
Well,
no, honestly, phase 1 and 3 are the easier phases.
Phase 2 has the most. Phase 2 has the most stuff going on, but phase 1 and phase 3 have the tightest DPS checks. And so the problem that we had to some degree is we just barely made the DPS check there for that one. So we need a little bit more damage coming out on the boss and the ads during that phase, as we were just barely getting by, and we just barely eked through there. So not to say, again, needed just a tiny bit more DPS from people. Hopefully everyone's kind of seen, now that they've seen things, they can kind of understand when they can stop and plant and cast and when they need to do damage. But that's kind of the biggest thing is during that first phase and during the third phase, we will need damage popping out. So make sure you've got, everything, because it definitely matters during those two phases.
In that second phase, when you get selected with the little red arrows on it, do you have to be clear of everybody in the raid between you and the sword, or is it just hit you?
And normally I believe it just hits you.
I think you'll want to go ahead and get used to just being out of the raid, though.
Yeah.
I got out of the raid, I just didn't know if it was LOSing.
Well, no, it's going to bounce between the three people, so just like the dagger earlier, I mean, those people want to be out of the raid. I mean, if everybody's stacking up near the mirror, theoretically the three people could just hop through the mirror real quick and not have to worry about it, but that's, there's so much shit going on during that.
Yeah, so I believe what it is what ends up happening is she goes out and you want to be not in the path of the blade because it hits everybody in its path.
Yeah.
But it's it's again, for me, it's one of those things of getting to that phase consistently. That's there. So yeah, it's to all players in her path. So ideally what it'd be is, again, it's kind of one of those things of player 1 here, player 2 here, player 3 over here, and they don't have to be that stacked very far apart, but that way it just pops out and we're all clear and it hits just the 3 of us and doesn't hit everybody else. But it's not that's something I'm not worried about quite yet. So
yeah, I mean, just remember this: when phase 2 starts, we basically want to go to north. I believe is what it is, isn't it, Yeager?
Yeah. So you go north, south, and then after you've killed the ads in north, south, which we took a long time doing.
Well, I just mean that they start spawned on the north. So as soon as phase 2 starts, everybody go north. Basically, get to where we're standing between where the ads for melee are going to spawn and the mirror.
And everyone should be, again, multi-daughters, this is your time to shine. We've got 5 Shadow Priests. This is supposed to be your kind of fight. You're supposed to be dotting everything up and keeping your dots up on everything.
Yeah, dogs, you got unlucky with the last one. You didn't get topped off after feeding time. You literally just had a couple hots. And then the stun happened. And that was what killed you, was you were low going into the stun. And the ads were still up.
Yeah, you were at about 30%.
So after feeding time, the people that get hit need to be reasonably healthy quickly so that the stun doesn't kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what happened to me too. I hit feeding time, and then it hit me, and then a couple seconds later I was dead.
Well, you got hit by Fender, you got hit by ads. That's what killed you. So it was just the ads absolutely destroyed you. You basically got chunked by looks like 6 ads all at once. That all did you for not a lot of damage, but that chunked you down from 75% health to 58% health, and you got hit again 2 seconds later to take you down from 50% health to 8% health, and a couple other ones hit you pretty hard. So, or then feeding time hit you on top of the ads. So you just kind of got hit hard, unfortunately, and kind of got a bad overlap at that bad time. Defensive could have helped. Vampiric Embrace could have helped, but yeah, it's definitely that's kind of what happened for you. We were definitely a little bit slow on DPS, but again, Shadow Priest, this is the reason that everyone was talking about the fight being Shadow Priest area, was because of this fight in particular, was how many things that do multi-dotting works well. So again, use to the best of your ability the multi-dotting in that phase 2 in particular. Phase 1, dot the best you can, use Mind Seer, but it's, again, this is going to be one that, early on, you're going to see Hunters and Boomkins do really, really well, as well as theoretically anybody else that has very good AoE, because we can just pop AoE and do that instantly. But that second phase, that's where you need to see yourself rising up the ranks as far as DPS charts. And do what you can during that phase 1 to kill all those ads, because use whatever instant AoE you've got, because we need those ads need to die as quickly as we can get them dead. Yeah. If you don't get to the center before the time goes off, it's an instant kill. There is no pass go. Is no $200.
I mean, if you're slow and you need to get hit by the third one while we're still clearing this for the first time on normal, by all means do so.
So if you need the third one, go for it, but you should not need more than 2.
I still had 2, and I made it there as a lock with no speeds. You can make it there.
So we don't have flasks. Just FYI.
It's fine. We've only got 20 minutes left before the clock's gotta go.
Okay.
We're still learning. It's fine.
Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. My guess is the reality is, for the most part, we'll probably need more gear. I mean, because what's the biggest issue right now is DPS, and some of that I know is the fact that gear sucks as far as.
Well, I mean, honestly, as long as we can make it through phase 1, there's no reason. Phase 1 is the biggest DPS check. If we can make it through phase 1 and keep everybody alive the entire fight, we can down this. I mean, otherwise we would not have made it through phase 1 here. We just would not have had the DPS. So, I mean, I know we've got the DPS to get this done.
Phase 3 is a bigger DPS check. It's the same time frame as phase 1, but you've got to go, instead of 30% health, you've got to go 40% health.
Wow.
So phase 3 is actually a bigger DPS check than phase 1 is. The difference is phase 3 doesn't have quite the number of ads.
So yeah, I mean, so you're more focused on the boss. So it's a little easier there.
It's 10% more health that you've got to go through, but it's you don't have to chew down the ads, and that's really the big difference. And you can cleave onto Remoria and do a little bit of damage you can't do that in phase 3. Sorry.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Your pride will be your downfall.
3, 2.
Hero.
Beware.
Cleanses the soul. Your vanity will cost you everything.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Confess your sins, lest they consume you.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Exterminate this
Move.
Beware.
Confess your sins, lest they consume.
Lovely little lag spike there.
Same.
Anita's dead. Oh, never mind.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Confess your sins, lest they consume.
Jen?
Yeah, I taunted one of the ads that spawned in front of me.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Exterminate these vermin.
Move again.
Remember, if you don't need to get hit the second time, don't get hit.
Beware.
Cleanses the soul.
And by second, he means third.
Yeah.
Your hubris amassed a debt you cannot pay.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Confess your sins, lest they consume.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Much better DPS there.
Good job, guys.
If you land near the gateway where we came in, use it.
And if you're ranged, you get in, you can keep doing damage to them.
3, 2, 1.
Everybody get ready to move north. 3 people didn't get in.
I think Unemployed might have frozen. He wasn't moving.
Everyone should be on that.
Scream for me. I cut you down.
Wind down here, can we res it?
Should be.
We don't have a res right now.
We all died.
We need to go back through and finish off that ad. Range, finish it off. Okay.
Got it.
Much better job overall.
At this point, should I be saving or using cooldowns?
You can use cooldowns. It's okay. They're gonna be the one next one is we've got enough that you're gonna that it's not gonna matter. It's 2 minutes cooldown. 3 minutes don't use it yet.
Beware.
Carve screams from their flesh. Scream for me. Shadows consume you.
This is bad.
Yeah, we'll go back through after the explosion. We can go back. If you have the bleed, you can stay on this side. Alright, go back through. Start working our way towards east. Go to orange.
Scream for me.
Beware.
Massacre these whelps. Cabal, feast upon these meddlers.
Adds up.
I will cut you down.
Get near the mirror.
Perish together.
And it's ads on both sides?
Yeah.
Just color the ads on this.
And instead of having the range only ads, they're just at the mirrors.
I get through again.
Kill the other ads. Can we be rest clock?
Several minutes.
Never. Go through, kill other ads. Finish ad. Move toward the middle.
We're transitioning in the middle. The ads are going to come. We're okay. Now we've got the final phase.
You shall have it.
Out with those. We're going to have seeds after those in those spots to get ready to soak those. Out of the circles. Watch out for lines.
Just get out the circle.
Beware.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
No more tank.
Res in 12 seconds.
You get one of us up. I'm in the center. Clock's way over by the mirror.
Beware.
Bye. I don't know who went flying.
I tried to take it.
I went flying because I was focused on getting Jen up real quickly.
I kept Sire as long as I could.
Yep.
Long enough to get Jen back up. So keep trying, but you've got your next hero in 50 seconds. Get out of the circle.
Oh, much better that time, though, guys.
Yeah, I mean you've now seen
That's
everything.
the rest of the fight.
That's the entire fight right there.
Oh, you kill me!
He's now going to do the second third of the room right now, and so you have to get to that last third of the room, and you basically have to kill him in that last phase.
So he doesn't actually phase until 40%.
Yeah, I don't think he's supposed
Yeah, it's 70 and 40.
Oh, I blew a cooldown when he was at 45 because I thought that was the last phase when all the ads were down.
No, he phases at 40%, and then once he gets to 40%, then he goes to then he basically goes. The mirrors are gone, and you get to that last phase. But again, that's the entire fight. So now that you've seen it, it hopefully will make it be a little bit easier. So again, we need a little bit more DPS in that first phase, so we can try to save Hero for that last one. Because I mean, Hero came up very, very, very late in that last phase.
So
Go ahead.
how do I get rid of Burden of Sin? Because that's what killed me. Is I still had that when I dropped.
Yeah, so that's you have to run to the middle. That's what I'm talking about those stacks. If you have too many stacks, you get slowed. So as soon as that transition happens where you get in that red haze, you need to run as hard as you can, press your W key, your two mouse keys, whatever the hell you use to move forward, and don't let off it. No damage, nothing, no healing,
You
no
can't
shield.
cast any abilities during that time. You just have to move forward. Everybody gets punted back towards the wall. It's all red and hazy. All you got to do is make it to the center. But if you go right to the little red spot in the center, you get knocked back a little bit. So don't, just as long as you make it there, your debuffs fall off, you'll stop being slowed.
Okay.
But you gotta make it there. But that's why we're stacking on the tanks, so that you get hit by Cleansing Pain enough times that your slow is reduced, so you're not as slow for that phase, because you can actually, if you're, a side note, if you're Night Fae and our DPS is good, you could switch to Ghost Wolf and Soul Shape right before he phases, before the phase, and you'll be a little bit faster moving.
Door Shadows takes too long.
You can't door shadows.
You can't cast any spells, so you can't actually shift into another form. You can't go Ghost Wolf unless you do it before the phase transition happens.
Yeah, I can't even use my glide.
You can't use dash. You can't use any kind of speed booster ability during that phase. So you have to clear your debuffs enough that ideally you only have 2 stacks, and then when you get knocked back, you haul ass to the middle.
If you just put on, if you just hit your auto run button, whatever that is, like right after it goes, you just start going, and that'll get you there.
Yeah, basically, as soon as he gets close to 70% and you get that, just start hitting your W key basically, because that's all you really care about. Is just that phase is a pure, I need to run to the center phase. It's not it doesn't matter damage, nothing else. You just need to get to that middle phase.
If you've got personal food, use it. You probably only have one more chance before clock's gotta go.
My dog just turned off my light.
We can run out. We can run out. 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 Run out.
Yeah, I'm stuck.
Well, pop the ads outside.
No.
Yeah, somebody popped it and
That was me.
I cheat death.
Oh,
I
you
think
were
it
a
was
flag.
ERT said it was meds.
Oh, okay.
It told me it
I
was
actually
Anita.
I actually have 2 separate ERTs. One says that it was Anita. The other one said it was meds.
Details of
I was looking at my Door of Shadows when I was doing it.
Oh, you went too close? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't use Door of Shadows with during that intermission phase. There's no movement abilities.
And should use it before we pull the boss either.
No, that's generally bad.
On that second phase, do we ever swap?
Yes. I think it's about 4 stacks of the debuffs.
Okay.
I mean, we can swap more often than that too if we're both taking a lot of damage. Also, Clock, the frontal that Nathria does, you can aim it at the ads, and it will make them take a bit more damage. So I'm hopefully other people are watching out for where he's facing as well, because I am trying to get the ads hit with it. So just kind of keep an eye on trying to stay behind him. Range should be fine. Shouldn't be pointing at them at any point, but melee may have to adjust if we're trying to position him to point at the ads. Alright, let's do this, guys.
Alright, folks,
5,
everybody get in there.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Also remember, if you get dropped off by the door when everybody gets thrown back and you gotta make the run of shame, use the gateway.
I thought we weren't gonna hear it at the start.
Do it.
Your hubris amassed a debt you cannot pay.
No, we've heroed you.
3, 2, 1. Confess your sins, lest they consume.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna move. Stack back up.
3, 2, 1. Beware. Cleanses the soul. hubris amassed a debt you cannot pay.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Confess your sins, lest they consume you.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Once again.
You get that up?
3, 2, beware.
Confess your sins, lest they consume
Or are you gonna get sent up?
Yeah, go ahead, get him up.
Might be a little hard to read.
Your hubris amassed a debt
Yeah.
you cannot pay.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Confess your sins, lest they consume you.
Ghost Wolf.
Still an ad way in the back.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Close to fade.
He should be transitioning.
There you go. Remember, gateway if you land near it.
Crawl to me on your knees. Surrender.
Thank you for the
and I
reminder.
will grant you a merciful end.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I was almost a good set, but I got jumped on.
Also saw a couple people got grips to pull in other people. That was good.
Servants, remove this refuge
Go north.
from my sight.
Still one res available.
You want to get somebody up?
Cut you down.
Either of them if you can reach, but I don't know where their corpses are because it was up top.
They come down.
Drops to the center.
I will cut you down. Shadows consume you.
Yeah, as soon as it goes off, we can go back through.
I will cut you down.
Beware.
Massacre these whelps. I will cut you down. We'll perish together. Devoted apostles.
Right, as on the sides.
Scream for me.
Beware.
Massacre these whelps. Scream for me.
Damn, dogs.
Are
Go
we
back.
moving?
Yeah, we have to get the mirror. We're gonna have to go back. No, we're gonna have to get the guy on the other side. Still one to go back. And then once we're killed that, we're gonna go to the east.
If you get marked for those impales, try to stack up relatively close to the other people that have the impales so they're not slicing up the whole raid 3 times.
I will cut you down.
I start to move towards.
Beware.
Massacre these whelps. Come on, feast upon these meddlers. I will cut you down. Shadows consume you. I will cut you down. Shadows consume you.
Beware.
Focus damage on the ads. He's getting close to phasing. We want to get these ads down. But don't pop cooldowns on them. Save your cooldown.
Innervate title if you can, please. No.
Down.
What?
We have a battle res if we need it.
Save it for tank.
It's okay, I'm just watching.
Jen, when are we done?
Pop, pop potions and cool.
Oh, shit.
If you're not have one of the circles getting close to melee, pretend you're melee for this.
Beware.
Yeah, 6 is about good.
Beware.
Get ready to move.
Be careful about being thrown off the edge.
Get in. Give a circle, get out.
Mana tides up, healers.
Get out of the circle.
Beware.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Ready to move?
Get ready for the close circle.
And keep your back away from a lid.
And not to the red if possible too. Watch for the little corners.
Beware. 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 Beware.
You can do hero in less than 30.
Yep.
Pop it as soon as it's up.
4, 3,
Danny, I won't have the mana.
1.
I got it, don't worry.
Yeah.
Got to innervate again.
Beware.
Pop your own. Now.
Light him up.
Jen, back.
We easily got this. Good job, guys. Good job.
Don't get complacent. Just kill it. Get your circles out. Watch where your back's at.
Beware.
Getting close.
Beware.
Dodge the lines and finish the deed.
Yeah. Nice job, guys.
Nice and easy, right?
Easy enough.
Next week, one shot.
Entirely possible. I mean, phase 1 is the hardest phase, in my opinion. I mean,
It was harder than phase 3, which really.
the reason it's hard is because of the ads and the amount of healing and everything. So
Yeah.
If those ads didn't spawn a fucking mile apart, you can actually get any damage on them.
Ooh.
You got something?
I think I got the pet.
You got nothing.
Oh yeah.
Start. I don't know what
Hey! If I can give everybody a piece of advice here, you're gonna get a shit ton of soul ash from that quest. Save it till next week when you need to do your fucking shit. It'll get you all of it in one go. Save
Your anima.
250 anima times 5.
Yeah, save it until next week. Save it till Tuesday. I mean, I wish I had. It will give it all to you at once.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of anima from that particular quest. You also get a very short cut scene.
Meds, you got the pet.
I did too.
Oh
So did I.
So jelly.
So did I.
What pet?
Will of Vermonia. It's basically the dagger. If you go to the flight path in town, it will murder the flight path little animal worm thing.
Oh my god. Oh, a lot of people got the pet. Grats.
What's the pet?
I'm sitting off to the side and has a star.
I just linked it. So
That is a sexy ring title.
Thank you.
Can I have it?
I'm wearing it already.
The poor title hasn't gotten anything, Kragar.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm fucking slacking either.
I don't know. I'm not seeing you on the DPS meter very high, so I think you're slacking there.
That's not the DPS meter title.
Don't look at DPS meter. Nobody wants to see that.
Is anyone else noticing the floating hat in the air? Christmas hat?
Yep, that's.
Oh yeah.
Eyebrows.
Still chilling
there
up
are
there.
3 of them.
told me not to link it, so you knew you were going to get it linked.
Tiny ones. That's adorable.
Wait, are there
They were
2
on-
tiny cats?
They were on his horns. I thought
Oh
everyone
my
noticed.
god!
What is this item begins a quest for
Don't
Moria?
turn it in until next week because
That's
Yeah.
the thing. Don't turn it in.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll get a very short cut scene, and you'll get a massive amount of anima. Yeah, and so you generally don't want to turn it in until next week because it will basically you want to pick up your
weekly thing.
Yeah, you want to complete your weekly thing in one shot. So, you get the cutscene when you turn in the quest.
Like,
So if you're smart, you won't see it till Tuesday after you've picked up your weekly quest. Just my piece of advice. I mean, take it from somebody that learned the hard way, that didn't look at the reward.
For some reason, I want to leave to Revan
Wait for a few minutes.
and talk to Prince Renethal here to go outside. If you just want to go outside. I guess I might put you at the front entrance, but close enough.
Wait, what did you say, son?
It may not have been potentially a bad idea to do a heroic shriek, but I'm pretty sure Clock has to go to bed.
I know.
Yeah, no, it was a joke. I didn't think we'd even attempt it.
Oh, this puts us just at the portal upstairs.
I like that walking through the mirrors still sends you through the mirrors.
Well, we didn't like break the mirrors or anything. You're still the same mirror.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, good job, everybody.
I mean, that was what, like 2 attempts after we got past the first phase?
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. Like 4 or 5 overall.
5, not including the one oopsie pool, right?
Yeah.
We had
Your
the
shadows
pool and then we
pull.
found it, so that was the fifth try.
Anita was just like, I got a new strategy, watch this.
It's like popping Hero in the tentacles. Way back.
Where you pop?
Anita was trying to solo it.
I like that Sludgefish is still sitting here, just like.
I'm just glad you guys. I'm glad that you saw it real quick, like said everybody out, so nobody died.
All right,
Billy, I'm glad Billy was able to make it for the
Yeah.
for the boss.
Let me go see if I can still murder these animal worms.
Good.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Awesome job.